don't know, and I'm going to take the fine. Because the refs did not give us no calls tonight. We had to play through every bump, every grab. I don't know how we won tonight.
There's contact. Was it marginal or was it illegal?
Marginal contact, like a gain. Sorry for the little delay. We had a slight mourning period for the end of our Wolves season. Actually, sadly, it's already been a week ago today. Oh, where are my manners? Welcome back to the show, Leon Mason.
Yes, welcome. Thank you.
I know some of you probably can't tell the difference between him and Mike, but there is a difference. And
Slightly.
if you're listening on Spotify, Apple, all that, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. And welcome back, Leon. Yes. So like I said, we're going to talk Wolves. We're not mad. One of the best seasons, if not the best season in Wolves history. And the future is very, 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 very bright for the foreseeable future. For once in this franchise history, you can actually say that. But before we get into that, glad we are recording when we are, because about an hour ago we had some breaking news that I'm sure if you've been following this saga with the ownership, the drama, with Glenn Taylor pulling the contract back last second from A-Rod and Laurie, and is now in litigations in the court because Glenn Taylor's a scumbag, and a lot of people were worried that A-Rod and Laurie weren't going to have the money to get full ownership of the team. But we can put that baby to bed now, because within the last hour, we got news that Michael Bloomberg, the ex-mayor of New York City and the 12th richest person in the world, is joining up with A-Rod and Mark Laurie. So Glenn Taylor, might not happen today, might not happen next week, but before next season starts, peace, bro. You're out. It's over. Time for a change for all of us. So Michael Bloomberg, never thought I'd say this, especially with what's happened the last couple of weeks. If you know, you know. Thank you for something from New York. Anyway, that's the positive. The negative.
What do you think? I mean, what do you think just makes him wants to just pull? Makes you
Glenn Taylor?
Yeah.
So I think he has seller's remorse. So when he sold the team, this has been 3 years now. They had a plan in place where it was a 20% payment for 5 years. So they paid the first, Laurie and A-Rod paid the first one, 20% owners, paid the second one, 40% owners. This year, a couple months ago when this all started, they paid the one that was going to make them 60%, so them the majority owners, and Taylor the minority. So the torch would have kind of officially been passed. Taylor still would have been in the fold for 2 more years, but wouldn't have final say.
What was the bill of sale? How much was
they got when 3 years ago, Laurie and A-Rod bought it for $1.5 billion. Wolves are listed at $3 billion. So once Ant gets there, once they start making the playoffs, once they become cool, the brand changes, the reputation changes. The price of the franchise has already doubled since Ant's been there. And Glenn Taylor is a greedy old little snake, it's Kevin Garnett, and pulled the contract last second and made up a bunch of garbage.
Yeah, it almost sounds illegal.
It is illegal. That's why it's in court. And since Glenn Taylor owns the Star Tribune, the biggest newspaper in Minnesota, he's using it as his own personal smear campaign and smack talk about A-Rod and Laurie. And to their credit, and thank God, A-Rod and Laurie are not backing down, and they are going to win this in the end. It sucks it's come to this point, but trust me, when this is all said and done, we will happily be looking courtside at Mark Laurie, Alex Rodriguez, and hey, Michael Bloomberg sitting courtside.
Wait, are you giving me courtside tickets?
I said, we'll look at him outside. I said, we're not sitting. I didn't say we're sitting. Yeah, sure. We play the Powerball. Maybe we got a shot. Anyway, so that's a positive, and that's great. Long-term looks amazing. Even with this season ending the way it did, the best season ever. But let's recap. After that Game 7 versus the Nuggets, I'm not gonna lie. I thought we had a clear path to the finals. I did not think Dallas was going to come in and do what they did. But you know what? When he's just playing basketball and he doesn't have the distractions or the media harping on him like they did in Brooklyn, I don't think there's a better basketball player in the NBA than Kyrie Irving. Obviously, Luka is that good, even though he's a whiny little bitch. Yeah.
He's a little brat.
But you know what? So the Wolves played them 4 times in the regular season, but all 4 games were before the trade deadline.
Right.
So they did not have P.J. Washington. They did not have they had Gafford. So I just think, I mean, the Wolves didn't make as many adjustments as they should have maybe, but they hadn't seen that size, and it kind of threw them off. But let's be honest here. If 2 bounces go other ways, the Wolves are up 3-0 in that series, not the Mavericks. Game 1, fourth quarter, we're up by 4 with 3 minutes left. Blow it. A couple bad turnovers. Lose by 3. Game 2, this is the one that still makes me sick. Up by 2. Jay McDaniels gets a rebound. Kyrie fouls him, and the ball goes out of bounds. They don't call the foul, and then you can't review a foul, but you can review who the ball went off of, and it went off of McDaniels. So Dallas gets the ball. Eventually, Luka hits that step-back 3 on Rudy. Mavs win by 1. 2-0. Go back to Dallas, back-and-forth game. Wolves had their chances. Dallas wins by 3 or 4, I think.
So it's funny you brought up Rudy Gobert because, I mean, I feel like if that's what Dallas brought in, it's just like athletic bigs. Not just a big, but an athletic big. Like can move.
Don't slander Rudy.
I'm not slandering him, but like he shouldn't be on the perimeter. He can't be out there. It has to be a switch.
Did you not see him in the Suns series guarding Durant and Booker on the perimeter? Did you not see him in the Nuggets series guarding Jamal Murray on the perimeter?
Doing well at it?
Yes.
I guess it's just Luka magic.
That game 2-1, Luka got him turned around one time. Before Luka got him to kind of like spin, Gobert was right there, but it takes all Luka needs is half a step, half a second, and he can do the step back. So game 4, the Wolves win, and game 4 was close. Dallas could have won that one, but in game 4, a couple bounces went the Wolves' way. They didn't go their way the last 3 games. 3-1 coming back to Minnesota. Obviously, 3-0's never been done, but I thought if the Wolves could just win game 5, then all the pressure would have been back on Dallas. Game 6, because if you lose at home there, then you got to come back here for game 7. But let's just say, for as competitive and tight and close as the first 4 games were, that game 5 was not.
Yikes.
You knew in the first 4 minutes that game was over. Luka had 20 in the first quarter. The first half, it was all Luka. The second half, it was all Kyrie. I think they combined for 76 points, if I'm remembering right.
Embarrassing.
And Nas had his only bad game. McDaniels didn't play good. Basically, everybody not named Cat and Ant did not show up to game 5, and the Mavericks won, going away. But you know what was cool? And I'm glad, you're always going to have some sports fans here in Minnesota because a lot of them are poser fans. A lot of them left in the middle of the fourth quarter when it was clear that the Mavericks were going to win. But the ones that stayed, as soon as the final buzzer went off, there was a "Let's Go Wolves" chant, standing ovation. A thank you to this team for giving us so much fun, the best season in history. And that was awesome to see. And the first thing Ant said post-game is, we'll be back. We will be right back here next year. And I believe him. 22, Ant. 23, Jay McDaniels. 24, Nas Reed. Cat's considered old, and he's 28. He's just entering his prime. And Conley, you know what? He's got a couple good years left. They don't ask him to do too much. We need a backup point guard is one of the things we have to address in the offseason. We need an upgraded backup point guard so Conley doesn't have to play big minutes for, an 82-game season. Save him for the playoffs. We still got Alexander Walker signed off the bench.
So again, as far as like pieces, let's say we meet this team again. We need more, clearly, to beat them.
Okay.
I mean,
let's just say, the only 2 guys that aren't under. Okay, there's I think 4 that are not under contract. You tell me if any of them mean anything, and it's pretty obvious. T.J. Warren, no, he was a piece just like as an emergency for injury.
Yeah.
He played, sloppy minutes or not sloppy, mop up minutes if we were down or up by 3. Jordan McLaughlin, I think we've seen all we need to see from him. Decent in spurts, but not. He's especially in the playoffs. He's not a player.
We need a defender at the point.
Monte Morris, I was pretty pumped when he got traded here, but he didn't
Disappointing,
he
yeah.
did not do much.
He didn't even play much. Like
He kind of fell out of the rotation. The last time I remember him playing was Game 5 in Denver, and that was only because Conley sent out that game with injury.
so I'm wondering if it's just like a hidden health issue because like wasn't he attempted to trade to another team? I'm sorry, wasn't he attempted to trade to another team and then like that or
No, that was who Conley wanted because he was when Conley was in Tim Conley, not Mike Conley, our GM. When Tim Conley was running Denver, Monte Morris, the year that Jamal Murray blew his knee out, played awesome for him. He was great. And I was excited. Like, I thought, like, how is this guy rotting away on the Pistons? So we got him. I'm like, oh, this is low risk, high reward. And he just didn't really do much.
And he didn't really. I didn't see him on the court as much as he should have. Like, I think we wanted with a smaller rotation, or I don't know.
His shot seemed broken since he got here. You know what it is? You know what number he took?
23.
It's cursed in the Wolves. Jarrett Culver,
Gross.
Jimmy Butler.
Is he still in the league?
No, I don't think so. He was like last man off the bench last year for Memphis. I don't think he's in the league.
Would we take him 6?
6th overall. Here's a trivia question for you. Let's see how well Leon knows his Wolves. The year we drafted Chris Dunn, number 5. Do you know who went 6th? And we didn't take. Instead, we took Chris Dunn.
Ooh. Nice.
It's another good.
Chris Dunn. You know, you're just kind of shaky. I just know the Johnny Flame. That's one that sticks out. Pisses me off.
Number 6 to the Denver Nuggets, Jamal Murray.
Yeah, his coach spoke very highly. It's like, oh, she should have been first overall.
Hard.
Yeah. Maybe he was onto something. I just said Jamal Murray is just so annoying.
You know what? As annoying as the past Wolves drafts misses have been, if we get any of those right now we don't have. So I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care anymore. The one that we needed to get right to have the best player in the league for the next 15 years, we got right. So all the past history doesn't, like as Chris Finch said in the press conference when he was asked about the last 30 years of the team failing, he goes, I wasn't here for that. I don't give a shit. Well said, coach. Neither do we. We got the future. That's all. The present and the future is all that matters. We got that in spades. So the last guy I'm going to talk about, I don't think he's going to be back, but I feel like this would be the one they'd have the most back and forth discussions on. Yes, if you're watching, good interpretation. Leon, Kyle Anderson, slow-mo. He was making $9 million a year the last 2 years. Unless he takes a giant pay cut, I don't see him back either.
I think it's pay cut, and it's also like the unit he plays with. Slow-mo can be efficient, but he needs the ball. He can't be the guy on the perimeter.
He's almost like a backup point guard.
Exactly, like a backup taller point. He's like a point forward, pick and roll or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But he just can't.
He can't shoot.
I mean, after he got poked in the eye last year versus the Nuggets, he has said multiple times how messed up his depth perception is now, like outside of 5 feet. So, yeah.
Right, he was on Call of Duty last night.
That's a video game. I don't even know what that. How does that relate to anything we're talking about? Yeah, I clearly don't. But all right. So yeah, there's not. I mean, the majority of the team, if you run it back, you got the exact same core. Another year of maturity, another year of growth, another year of experience for all the guys that actually matter. And this is a learning experience. Like in football, sometimes you get a team that misses the playoffs the year before, and then next year can win a Super Bowl, or vice versa, can win a Super Bowl, and then just the bottom drops out. In basketball, like you never go from like 8 seed to finals, and you got to take your lumps. You got to get beat by teams ahead of you, and you got to learn what to do. And if you would have told me before the season started the Wolves were going to be in the West Finals, I would have taken that in a second. I mean, the fact that you swept the Suns, you swept Kevin Durant, then you beat the defending champs in a 7-game slugfest. And then, you ran into the Mavs were the hottest team in the West. I mean, Luka and Kyrie are just clicking on all cylinders right now. And besides Game 5, every game was within a possession or two. So 4-1 looks bad, but if you look at the series as a whole, it was not a 4-1 series.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's Luke and Kyrie, but it's also just like they're athletic wings. They can guard, they can switch, they can play defense. So that's what kind of like changed up the series. Or like just took over. They have these athletic wings like PJ Washington, the Lively's, the Gaffords, who can just switch on D and like give us problems.
You know what surprised me, who I don't think played 1 second that entire series, was Tim Hardaway Jr.
He came in, I think, like the little game 3 or 4 or whatever. I think he was hurt.
Well, he probably came in Game 5 when they were about 50.
Yeah, he was just pulling. Yeah, I think he got fizzled out. Who is there still? Yeah, he got fizzled out due to Washington.
Yeah, I mean the trades definitely reduced his role. I thought,
how did they get those guys? I feel like they stole them. Like, what did they get, picks?
Look who PJ Washington was on. He was on the Hornets, which is just one of the dumbest teams in any sport. And then Gafford, wasn't he on the Wizards, a.k.a. also one of the dumbest teams in any sport? They just fleeced him. And yeah, Lively was their draft pick.
I guess it was also, I mean, I don't know. It could be a little comfortability of the Wolves just being, first seed all season, you know what I mean? And they didn't want to make any moves. I mean, was there any moves to make?
They didn't need to make
moves. Yeah, I guess we need first seed
moves. I mean, when pre-Gafford and PJ Washington, Dallas was in like play-in tournament spot for most of the season. And then they just, because remember like how close 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 were? And then Dallas, once they got those guys, kind of separated themselves a little bit. Not a lot. It was still close. But got up to the 5. Got to play the Clippers in the first round, which we all knew what was going to happen there, especially once Kawhi couldn't play. Then played Oklahoma City. The biggest cringeworthy pieces of trash in the NBA, players and fan base, who were the fakest 1 seed in history. Bless you. History. And here's my prediction for Oklahoma City. I know this is a little off topic. Remember last year?
Sacramento?
Yep. Last year, the Kings caught everyone off guard, made it to the 3 seed. I mean, they didn't make it out of the first round playoffs because they ran into Golden State. But then this year, the Kings were the 9, didn't even make it out of the play-in. That's what Oklahoma City is going to be next year. No one's going to take you lightly. You're going to get everyone's best shot. You're not going to get all the lucky bounces and breaks you had this year. Oklahoma City will be in the play-in tournament next year. Mark my words. Write it down.
So what would you say that the Wolves, need to revamp? What tools, what pieces
we need
at the draft? Or we trade picks?
I mean, they have both their picks this year, but all they need, and I know this is like, it's not like you can just find this anywhere. If they had one more guy off the bench who was a reliable spot up 3-point shooter, we would be the best team in the NBA. Because look at the first round. Like, I love him defensively all the time, but he's such a streaky shooter. Look at the first round. Alexander Walker was one of the best role players in the league.
He was hitting his threes in that
series. Yep. Versus Denver, Dallas, he did nothing offensively. Absolutely nothing. So we just need one more guy who can be a 38, 40%, I mean, I know that's high, but just a reliable knockdown guy. Someone like going back to the days of like Mike Miller, Kyle Korver, someone you can set a screen for, gets open, and like I said, I know these guys don't grow on trees, but somebody like is in that mold.
Is Clay too expensive?
Yeah, way too. Yeah. Golden State gave Draymond a contract based off pure past performances, past years, past nostalgia. They're going to do the same thing for Clay, which is why they're going to go down the toilet.
You think they're going to re-sign Clay for him?
I don't think they're going to give him a max, but they're going to give him more than he's worth. Yeah. To me, he's he's not even a starter to me anymore.
No, and that's why I brought him up, because I mean, we can take that piece off the bench. That would be awesome, but way too expensive.
I bet you the Warriors are dumb enough to give him like $25 million a year. Jesus. Bet they give him like a 3-year, $75 million.
The NBA bag versus the NFL bag is so.
And NBA and MLB bags are all guaranteed.
Exactly.
And it's nothing, which is wild. So yeah, but like we said, best season ever. I mean, we had 6th man of the year. Nas Reed is like the biggest celebrity in this state. We had Rudy, Defensive Player of the Year. We had, Ant was second team All NBA.
Right in your ass.
Yeah. Started a new slogan for the state without even knowing it. If you would have told me a year ago in the last game of the year when Rudy and Slow-Mo were punching each other, this would be like the tightest knit team in the league.
What do you think he said to him?
I don't want to know that's
off the record.
It's ancient history anyway. But if you would have told me that team would become this team, I wouldn't have believed you. But that's where we're at now. They all love each other. And like I said, they're young. Now they've tasted success. They're hungrier than they even were before. And I think this is only the beginning of a prolonged run atop the West. And Ant is bringing multiple championships when it's all said and done to this franchise. He's that good, that dynamic, that person. He's the perfect personality a team like this needs. He's not scared of the moment. He embraces the moment. He is, if there is a Minnesota curse, he is the person to smash that with a sledgehammer like Triple H.
So what would you say it was in that Dallas series? Because there was some streaky games of him. Was he just worn down, just chasing around Kyrie?
I think. He even said it. He goes, "Now that I've been this far, I know the conditioning I have to do to play the June." I think, he looked gassed. I think, and he'll never say it because he's not an excuse maker like that big bitch in LA, LeBron. Do you remember in the Denver series? I think it was Game 4 when he went up and he fell on his tailbone and back.
Yeah.
I think he was hurt, and he just wouldn't say it. I think because if you look at his numbers,
I will take your legs out too.
Yeah, if you look at his numbers post that fall, he was averaging 32 a game pre that, and he averaged 17, 18 after that. So basically cutting. So I think he just, between being tired and being banged up and hurt, I think he just kind of hit a wall a little bit.
Yeah, so with that being said, I thought you should let's probably take it down a bit and switch the assignment. You take him this play, or take some plays off. You can't chase Kyrie think about it. When superstars play against superstars, they don't guard each other.
Well, that's why Ant's different. That's what I'm saying.
But he took a toll.
And my view on Cat has done a complete 180 overall, but he was terrible the first 3 games of that series. Games 4, the game they won, Game 4, he was really good. And Game 5, even though they lost, he was really good. But Games 1, 2, and 3, he didn't give them. Game 2, the one where Luka hit over Gobert, he didn't play the last 9 minutes. Naz Reid played the last 9 minutes of the fourth quarter. And Naz was amazing that game. Almost hit that buzzer.
It's funny. I was thinking that Cat literally had the greatest mismatch. No one can guard him to me on that team. Their centers, he should blow right by him, and the guys who they keep up with him, he should be backing him down.
Well, that's one of the things that Finch will look at and adjust and address in the offseason because Finchie's the man. So overall, no complaints. I was in no way, shape, or form mad. I'm just honestly, I had so much fun with the ride that this team gave. I was just legitimately for 3 straight days, just sad because it was over. And I'm like, what do I watch now?
What do I eat?
Yeah. Wow. That's an sure. Try to do it. So on to the next. I'm glad we're recording again. I'm glad we're recording now because this is all happening before Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Mavs at Celtics, and as mad as I am that Dallas beat the Wolves, I'm rolling with Dallas in this series. I'm saying Dallas in 6. It's not a fan base, not just in basketball, but baseball, football. I don't watch hockey, but I'm assuming they're the same, just the same city. Boston fans are absolute trash. Your biggest celebrity is a little midget named Bill Simmons who talks like this and pretends like he knows about basketball. Do you know what? If you go back to his podcast before the draft where the Wolves took Ant, he said Ant should have gone 4th.
What? Who did he have us taking?
He said before that draft, he goes, I'd take LaMelo, I'd take Wiseman. I forget who he said 3rd. He said someone else before he would even touch Ant.
Wiseman, what a name drop.
Man, Bill Simmons. No wonder your HBO show lasted all of 6 weeks. So between Bill Simmons and the rest of those Boston blowhards, I'm all in on
these words.
I'm a verbal thesaurus. I'm a vocabulary genius. So yeah, I'm saying Mavs in 6. I think Kyrie is going to thrive because the Boston fans are going to go at him super hard, super hard with how he left. I think Kyrie, if you're a betting person, I think the best value bet of the finals is Kyrie Finals MVP.
Yeah.
It started. Clearly, I'm not alone. Didn't you said
it started? It wavered, but it finished at plus 69. So
it did. Okay,
it's still back.
So it went back and forth. The plus 1600 for Kyrie Finals MVP, I think, is a super good value bet, and I think it's gonna happen. I think he averages 40 points a game this series.
Whoa!
Yes,
he hates him that much.
Yes. So, and on the opposite side, so like I said, I think Kyrie's personality is going to thrive on crowd hatred. On the other side, you have the big scarecrow Porzingis coming back, who played in Dallas. So when they go back to Dallas, they're going to give him the business, and his personality, in my opinion, is the type that shrinks with people booing and heckling and him getting heat, because it did not end well for him with the Mavericks at all. And they shipped him to the Wizards. I mean, he was on the Wizards before he got to the Celtics.
I think this will be a very, very fun finals to watch. It's just matchups, like who guards Tatum, who guards Luka. Like how are they going to match up?
How do you hide Luka on defense against Tatum and Jalen?
Exactly. I think PJ Washington has to guard Tatum. That has to be the matchup. Yeah, I mean, he's the athletic wing that has to chase him down.
So put I would almost put Luka on Horford because he can't.
No. Look, Horford will own
that. Who guards Derek White?
Luka.
Who's Kyrie guard? Jaylen Brown? Yeah, this is tough.
Who's their 3?
You got Tatum, Brown.
No, other side. Luka, Kyrie,
Washington,
Gafford.
You can see his face, but I'm drawing a blank right
now. Oh, fuck. I mean, throughout the regular season, it was Tim Hardaway, but he got backburnered to the guy we can't.
Hold on. We are doing some quick on-the-ball research for NBA Finals purposes.
Because that's the X.
Lively.
Derek Jones. Derek Jones starts. You're right. Lively doesn't start. Lively comes out.
Yeah, you're right.
Derek Jones. Okay, so yeah. So I'll revamp it. Derek Jones guards Brown. And then
yeah, that makes sense actually. Now I'm okay. Yeah, sorry about we both had a little mental lapse on the Mavs starting 5. Yeah, okay. I like that. Derek Jones on Jaylen Brown.
Yep. And then we have
PJ Washington on Tatum.
Yep.
Wait, so who guards Drew Holiday? Kyrie can guard Drew Holiday?
Drew Holiday he's not that. He kind of he can be.
He's clutch. He comes up big.
That's not a huge mismatch. He's just a little bigger. The size is right there.
Well, okay. And when it all comes down to it, I'm taking Dallas in 6. They split in Boston, I think. One of these first 2, either tonight or game 2. I see Dallas winning both. They go back to Boston. Boston wins, and I think Dallas closes out at home in game 6.
I think it's going to come down to I call it Luka ball. When Luka starts doing that,
what he did in game 5,
cocky shit.
What he did to us in game 5,
it can cause the other team to kind of get back. I call it playground park or whatever. Playground ball. When you just want to go 1-on-1. Luka can start that and ignite the other player to counter him. The white guy or whatever.
It's like the European. They have.
But it can take a team out of their game. And so if Luka Gubbs with the super step back 3 busted in your face, you come down the next possession and try to do something similar and you miss, that's when the run starts. And that's when the television goes. What do you think? Dynamite drop. Classic.
Oh, that was too perfect. So yeah, I agree with you though. I think it's going to be an entertaining series. I think all the pressure in the world is not on the Celtics per se, but on Jason Tatum, because he 2 years ago versus the Warriors let Andrew Wiggins of all people shut him down, and then last year versus the Heat,
Rookie of the year.
What? That's the last time he was relevant. was a long time ago, but we don't. You're off. And then last year versus the Heat, they were the 1 seed, lost to the 8 seed, and in Game 7, granted it was because of injury, but was out in the first 4 minutes, and Miami rolled him. And that was a game Jaylen Brown had like 9 turnovers because he couldn't dribble the ball. So anyway, some more pressure on Boston.
Yes.
But I wouldn't say like but the majority of the pressure because of it's on Boston is on Tatum. And I will say this, I think if Boston wins, I think Jaylen Brown will be the finals MVP, not Jason Tatum. That's just me. I think Tatum is a really good player, but I think he's a vastly overrated player when it comes to this final shit. And his, national perception is like a franchise dude. I don't think he's that. And I think like if you gave every executive or GM a choice who they would start a team with between Ant and Tatum, I think everyone would take Ant.
It's like the two players. I think it's due to the Celtics' depth. Like you can literally find Jason Tatum just staring at the play.
It's weird. It's like my turn, your turn type thing with him too much. Like he's not he'll have points where he's super aggressive and takes over a game, and then he'll have times where he just stands in the corner,
right, waiting for the Derek White three. Yeah, just staring at the play. I don't like
it's too on and off for me, and like I never noticed it this bad until this season.
Exactly,
it's weird. It's gotten like complacent almost.
And at times when Tatum is going strong, the team's not really like vibing. Like Tatum will have 30 and they'll be down 1, 2. You know what I mean? Close. Tatum will have 17 and they're at 30. So is he?
I'll tell you the biggest disparity in this series to me is coaching. I don't think Jason Kidd is a great coach. I think he's a good coach. I think Joe Mazzulla is a terrible coach who just has a great team. Joe Mazzulla is going to, at some point in this series, the moment is going to be too big for him and he is going to panic and do something really stupid.
I mean, it's Joe Mazzulla and still Brad Stevens.
Sure. Remember the last time the Celtics were in the finals 2 years ago, who their coach was? It was Ime Udoka. It was not Joe Mazzulla. Joe Mazzulla last year was yes. Mazzulla's first year was last year. He choked versus the Heat. And let's look at, here's another.
You said his first year was last year?
Yes.
So if he first year last?
Sure. So another negative, positive at the time, but you know what I think is a negative now, is how easy, the easiest path to a finals in NBA history. The Celtics played the Heat first round with no Butler, with no Terry Rozier, with no Jaquez Jr. Then they played the
Bucks. Wait, no. Pacers played the Bucks.
Yeah. Who did they play in the second round? How are we this bad? Who did they play in the second round?
It was 4-1 again, right?
Yeah.
Was it? No, it was East Finals.
Oh, the Cavs. They played the Cavs with no Jared Allen, and by the end of it, no Donovan Mitchell. No challenge for them there. And then they played the Pacers, who the last 2 games didn't have Tyrese Halliburton. There's literally, and I'm not even saying this like hot take exaggeration, I don't think there's ever been an easier path to an NBA Finals for a team. So if they get tested, their first adversity is going to be in the finals. I don't think that's good for them. I think that benefits Dallas in the long run because Dallas against the Clippers, Dallas went 6 games with the Clippers, and went 6 games with the Thunder. And even though it went 5 versus the Wolves, was 1 possession game every single game except the last one. Yeah. So Dallas has been tested and pushed and gone through some playoff actual type atmosphere stuff. The Celtics have not.
No.
So I think if it comes down to the last 3 minutes and it's a 1-point, 2-point game either way, you could see the Celtics, especially, and this is another Mazzulla thing, I could see them choking, getting scared, or the lights being too bright. So that's just another reason not to Mavs in 6.
Yeah. But not to mention it, when you look at it, both of these teams have stayed fairly healthy. I mean, you got to give them props to the healthy guys.
Besides, the only injury between both teams has been Porzingis hasn't played since round 1, but they haven't needed it.
Yeah,
I bet you if it would have been like a game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals, Porzingis would have came back. But when they're up 3-0, they're like, take your time. So rest.
So would you call that like championship drive as far as like preparing the body, eating right, doing the right things to stay healthy? And you look at the other teams, we were healthy.
Wolves didn't have any injuries.
They didn't have any injuries, but like you said,
well, I mean, maybe Ant. Okay, so they didn't have any injuries where people sat out.
Exactly.
Mike Conley missed 1 game. That was the only thing that the Wolves had.
That's me, like fatigue. So I'm just wondering. Yes. I'm wondering if like these guys are just like the 2 final teams. They saw the path and they just know like, okay, we got to and they're just going straight home. They're not going out. They're not.
I don't think anyone goes out in the playoffs. Or if they do, they keep it. No, it's impossible to keep that under in the.
Those are young though. Yeah.
I don't think that was an issue. I just think this is the farthest any of them have ever played in their careers in the NBA, not named Mike Conley. And because he went to a West Finals with the Grizzlies, but that was a long time ago. It's just, no, I just think a couple bad bounces and they ran into the hot Dallas team. But no, I don't think that had anything to do with it. But yeah, Dallas is healthy and we'll see what Porzingis looks like. I mean, that's a long layoff because you think round 1 was in April. We're in June.
Is he expected to start?
He's playing. I don't know start, but he's playing. So we'll see. But yeah, I know. You know what? Props. If I know you guys listen every week. My group chat of middle school friends that we're still close to this day. RT, Taylor, Mark, Christian, Johnny. They always compliment how right I am on my predictions. They're like, "Wow, Brandon, you're right like 98% of the time." Okay, that's true. So, guys, I know you said you're going to go to Vegas and put in everything that I said, not the opposite of what I said. So, thanks for the support, guys. Keep listening. Anyway, so that's our basketball coverage. We will probably try to up it for 2 episodes next week to keep up with the final stuff. But I know it's still the off season. But if you're okay with it, I got to switch to the NFL real quick. So the Texans last year came out of nowhere, won the AFC South. Rightfully so. C.J. Stroud, 2nd overall pick, rookie of the year. Won a playoff game. Great quarterback. Got Stephon Diggs from the Bills in the offseason. A lot of big expectations.
Nico Collins got more money.
You know what else grew besides the Texans' expectations? Is C.J. Stroud's idiotic ego. I used to like you, dude. I used to. You know what? You're done. You know what? You played 1 year. You had a great year. Guess what? Now you played a 4th place schedule last year. No one's taking you like this year. And you're playing a 1st place schedule. And then you went on a podcast and you opened your fucking mouth. So
top 5, huh?
Leon, why don't you give me C.J. Stroud's top 5 quarterbacks list in his opinion?
In his order. So he goes Mahomes, hands down. Done. He goes Lamar Jackson.
Can live with that.
He stares at the camera and goes, myself.
Insane.
And then from then on, he goes Dak and Hurts.
Idiotic. Psych.
Keeping some color there.
Yeah. No diversity in C.J. Stroud's. So let's start there. I'm fine with 1 and 2. I got no problem with Mahomes or Lamar. You can't say yourself 3. You can be confident in yourself. Confidence is good, but there's a difference between confidence and arrogance. You played 1 season. You played great. You can't put yourself above Joe Burrow, Josh Allen,
even Stafford,
Justin Herbert. Yeah. Who else am I missing? I wouldn't put you above. Help me out here. Give me some more names. I wouldn't put you above Baker Mayfield right
now. Oh, come on. Stroud over Baker? Better than Baker.
Baker's been in the league longer and has done more.
Yeah, a little trickle down. I don't know. Stroud's better than Baker. I'll give him that.
Okay. I'd put Tua above C.J. Stroud.
That's a good one.
I'd put Tua way above C.J. Stroud. And I'm not trying to rip on C.J. Stroud's ability, and I think he's going to be good, but you cannot at this point put yourself
So
Number 3.
I'm wondering if he's just coming out with that villain role, just saying, like you said, like speaking
That's
confidence.
stupid. You're putting a big target on your back for no reason. And then you say, like, I mean, I don't get it.
The Hurts was a head scratcher. The Dak's
Head scratcher.
Yeah.
Dak is basically Kirk Cousins, just with a star on his helmet, so he gets more publicity.
So maybe he was talking regular season, but he couldn't because he said Hurts.
And Hurts last year, this last 10 weeks, was one of the worst quarterbacks in the entire NFL. What were they, 9-1? And
they lost 8 of their last 9.
And then got smoked by the Bucs in the first round of the playoffs.
Smoked.
So since the Super Bowl and like week 10 of last year, Jalen Hurts was borderline unplayable. And I had one of the guys in my group text that I was just talking about, Mark, tried to like, well, he got me lots of fantasy points. Yeah, that's because of the tush push, which is not cool, your fantasy team. I'm talking about reality, bro. Reality, he was not good. He missed throw after throw after throw so much that A.J. Brown publicly ripped him on social media, rightfully so. And then you got the biggest tool bag coach in the league in Sirianni. The guy's a clown.
Now, with that being said, like as far as like Hurts' bad season, this man is a workhorse. I strongly think he's going to fix it. He has to. A.J. Brown was kind of being weird, like throw me the ball type shit. Wah, wah, wah. I don't know. There wasn't a big chemistry, and I think it started with him. Like as far as like locker room and getting your huddle, like shutting everybody up. Like, bro, AJ, it's fine. Like we're gonna score. I think the tush push pisses off a lot of his receivers.
Well, I think with Jason Kelsey retiring, they're not going to do that. They're not nearly as
hated
it. It was 600 pounds on his back.
That's what made him retire.
Yeah. Okay, here's one. I'll give you one, and I'm going to sound like a homer. I don't care. Who would you rather have going forward? C.J. Stroud or Jordan Love?
Oh man, I can't give it to you, Brandon. Stroud's so okay. They're very similar. Okay, you did say homer. I don't know, man. Stroud's pretty legit. I'm not taking anything with Stroud.
Love's got a better arm.
They both have great weapons. Stroud was more. They both have great weapons.
Wow. God, yesterday you tried to tell me you didn't know who the Packers receivers are.
I was talking shit. You said they brought in Jacobs. Watson, hopefully he's healthy.
Yeah,
Dobbs.
Supposedly he's fixed his hamstring injuries. If that's true, then look out, NFL.
Tell it to Cooper Kupp. So Dobbs, you get this other guy,
Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks. And we got
that's 4 strong.
And we got 2 stud young tight ends, Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft.
And Jacobs. And
the biggest addition by subtraction, no Joe Barry, new defensive coordinator, instant upgrade. But we're talking quarterbacks. We're talking. Okay. Okay. That's enough of an issue with that list for me. But then C.J. Stroud went way too far.
What did he do?
Way too far. To the point where I want to check him for CTE already. He said if he could choose between having a career, if he had to choose Aaron Rodgers' career or Eli Manning's career, he would take Eli Manning. Yeah. That is the single dumbest thing I have ever heard. If you would have told me who said that and not, I would have guessed someone as dumb as Skip Bayless would have said it, not an actual NFL quarterback.
I think you said it in the aspect of this. I think you said putting Eli on the Packers.
No.
Or something.
No, he said that. We'll get to that. This is I'm telling you, C.J. Stroud has like some brain defect.
He's doing the Kevin Durant villain role.
Cool. Yeah, Eli has 2 Super Bowls. Rodgers only has 1. Take that out. 1 more Super Bowl. Every other stat category in the entire history of sports, Aaron Rodgers is top 5, top 3 all time. Eli Manning isn't even in the screen, the page. I like Eli. He had 2 seasons where he got hot at the right time. Both years the Giants won the Super Bowl. They were 9-7. They snuck into the playoffs. They just got hot at the right time. Do you know the only other year that the Giants made the playoffs with Eli was the year that Plexico shot himself in the leg? Other than that, he never even made the playoffs.
No, they said it was Eli's guy.
I'm just kidding. Eli doesn't know it. He probably has like a heart.
He's like, it's good.
Man, other than that,
he only made the playoffs 3 times.
Yes.
Okay, so like
Rodgers is in the playoffs every year he doesn't have a broken collarbone.
It makes you like scratch your head. Like, is he Hall of Fame?
No, he's going to make the Hall of Fame because he beat Tom Brady twice. He has 2 Super Bowls, and his last name's Manning. If it wasn't Manning, he's not in the conversation. Aaron Rodgers is going to moonwalk as a unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer into. He's going to walk in as a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Unless his name gets on the ballot for it.
That's okay. Very biased. His status is only going to be, even better after this year when he wins Comeback Player of the Year, MVP, and the Jets win the Super Bowl.
Okay, man, you got to pick a side.
This is not. I'm just being completely neutral down the middle.
Okay. Actually,
down the middle. If Aaron Rodgers plays every single game, the Jets will win the Super Bowl.
Do they win the division first?
Who's going to beat them?
The Bills.
The Bills are going to suck. The Bills. All right. Back to the Vegas thing. You want to go? Here we go. Jets first, Dolphins second, Bills third, Patriots fourth. Josh Allen's cap hit is officially going to ruin that team. They had their chance the last 2 years. They couldn't get past the Chiefs. Now they're done.
Dolphins had the division with 1 week.
Yeah, no, that was so weird. Stupid Bills. But no, the Bills had their shot. They blew it. Now they're going to be stuck in mediocrity. They'll probably be like the 6 or 7 seed for the next 8 years. Josh Allen will make some flashy plays, but he'll never win when it counts. Hence the Trash Allen nickname that I coined, and will take credit for it for the rest of them.
So they let Diggs go to replace him with who?
They drafted somebody. They didn't sign a free agent. No, you know who their big free agent signing was? Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Yes. So they let Gabe. Did Gabe Davis stay?
I haven't paid attention to the Bills.
I think he's gone.
Maybe not. Yeah, the cap hit for Josh Allen went from like 6 to like 40 something. They're done, dude. They had their chance. Now you're paying. This is why teams who can go after big name receiver free agents is when their quarterbacks are on rookie deals. Hence, look at what the Vikings were able to do with Jefferson now that they're not paying Cousins. And they got McCarthy for 5 years on a rookie contract.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough division. I think the NFC North is going to be a very scrappy division.
So last year at this time, I would have said the NFC North was the worst overall division in football. Now it might be the best in the bottom.
But in like, when I don't say in a mediocrity way, but I mean like in a parity way. Like they're going to be beating on each other. I think it's calm.
And the Packers, and I'm saying this, obviously I follow the Packers more than anybody. They have the youngest team in the NFL. They're bringing everybody back. They got speed at every position. I think their secondary, now that Joe Barry's not there, he's going to be absolutely insane with Alexander, and Stokes is finally healthy. They got a completely new end of the defensive backfield with the safeties. They got Xavier from the Giants is going to be insane. So we still got Kenny Clark. I mean, they're athletic. So I think the Lions. I was just going to say,
like, are they hungover? Is that going to be a hang? Like the way that they lost that game, that is the makings of.
Let me ask you a question: is their coach still Dan Campbell?
Go for it.
Then they're gonna come back there.
Yeah, sure.
The Vikings.
It's still the
Vikings outside of the quarterback actually have a pretty loaded roster. If I'm the Vikings, and trust me, I love laughing at them more than anybody. But if I'm the Vikings, from a purely take my emotions out of the standpoint, there's not a chance, unless it's because of injury, that I let McCarthy see the field this year. I'm playing Sam Darnold, who
you gotta play Darnold.
I think Darnold has. Look at how bad those Jets teams were when he was on it. Look how bad the Panthers were when he was on it. He was the backup for the 49ers last year. This would be his first chance to start
with a nice
actual talent around him. You give Darnold, Jefferson, Addison, Aaron Jones. Jesus, bless you again. Jesus. Hopkinson. I mean, dude, that's a pretty legit. I feel like I'm missing one other receiver.
You said Addison? I mean, they got
Osborne, right? He went to the Patriots.
I don't know that.
But yeah, this would be the first chance that Sam Darnold ever plays with anyone who's worth anything. So I mean, if I think these rookies get shoved in way too quick more often than not. Look how bad Bryce Young was last year. You're telling me Andy Dalton shouldn't have started for the Panthers and let Bryce Young sit for a year?
They almost took a quarterback.
He should. Bryce Young, I call Drew Brees and Russell Wilson small. Bryce Young looks like a 12-year-old.
He's little, man. He's got to put some.
He's too little. Like, he's not going to last. He'll be out of the league within 5 years. He won't be a starter after maybe next year, and he'll be out of the league 2 years after that. He's not even worth it.
They drafted wrong.
CJ Stroud, you are. Here's my last, for this episode, my last Vegas future advice. Take the under on Texans wins.
Really? Don't do that.
Take the under. The Texans.
You think he's just going to mentally just like break down? And
I think that, dude, look at their schedule. They have the 4th hardest schedule in the NFL.
Talent. Diggs is real.
Diggs is also a team cancer.
Yeah, but he still catches the ball.
In the regular season, not the playoffs. They're not even going to make the playoffs. So I think
that's a vision, man. Come on, they
Jaguars will be better. That was a weird collapse last year. The Jaguars were 8-3, and Lawrence rolled his ankle, and they tanked. The Colts will be better if Richardson's back.
It's I'm just scrapping the
The Titans are going to suck. I think the Texans go 6-11.
Come on,
7-10.
You're so rude.
I'm just being wrong.
Okay, so you got the Jaguars with.
I got the Jaguars, the Colts, the Texans.
How many wins for the Jaguars? 12, 11?
11.
Jesus, man, you were nice.
I think Doug Peterson gets that team to bounce back, and I think Trevor Lawrence goes back to what he was 2 years ago. And even the first 12 weeks of last year, man, I'm telling you, that Monday night game, when he got his foot stepped on, that's when the bottom fell out.
Did Ridley leave? I think Ridley went to Titans.
Well,
I don't know for sure, but
it's not football season. We haven't done our full research.
No.
We'll get there.
Get those computers out.
Yes. Can't wait for our fantasy football episode.
2 quarterbacks.
2 QB league for life. We'll have my brother Alton on because he'll complain about that the whole time.
He doesn't like it.
He likes the 2 quarterbacks sometimes when it benefits him, but then he's like, he wants to take out kickers and he wants to take out defense.
Just for more roster spots? No.
Yeah, he wants.
Those. I mean, I like keeping all the positions. I like the double quarterback.
Yes, it makes it because if it's only one quarterback, it's too easy to just sit back and load up and then take like a middle of the pack dude.
Right.
Now with 2 QBs, you got to think because if you wait too long, you're going to end up with Bryce Young or Geno Smith's actually. That's another one.
One guy, didn't he?
2 years ago.
Okay.
It's another one. I take Geno Smith over CJ Stroud.
Come on.
Okay, I'm just kidding. No limits.
Okay, so with that being said about this double quarterback format, so 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, 1 flex. I think you have 3.
I think it's 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex.
That's where I would add another flex just for flex.
You could do another flex.
Yeah.
We're open to suggestions.
Just for that flex.
But like,
so we're
a couple months away. We'll do fantasy football in August. As far as Twins coverage goes, shocker, they still can't beat the Yankees, and the only one with a set of balls on the team is Royce Lewis. 2 games back, 2 home runs. Everyone else,
he homers.
Yes. Everyone else is absolutely spineless. Byron Buxton, I'm officially done with you. You mean nothing to me. You are completely washed. You are basically a skinny Miguel Sano.
Skinny.
Go away. Go away.
He doesn't even steal anymore. Like when he first started, like he would steal bags, and that was cool. You're fast.
Don't you have to be on base? He doesn't get on base. Byron Buxton, go away. You are washed.
Can we trade him
to the St. Paul Saints or AAA team? Maybe.
Trade him for Wiggins back.
Oh my God! Yeah, I'm done with the Twins. Their record's not terrible, but man, the way they play in big games already this year, I've seen all I need to see. And the way Cleveland's playing, not catching them. Your only hope's a wild card. Good luck with that. So thank you again. That's another reason why I'm so happy that T-Wolves played into late May, so I could not
put the blinders on.
Yeah, I could ignore how pathetic the Twins are. And you know what? At least I guess it doesn't matter because we can't watch them because we don't have Bally Sports anymore. Another
Get it together.
another
What's going on?
cost-cutting, cheap tactic by the poll ads.
So what's going on there? Like they said some sort of bankruptcy thing with what Valley Sports, or
yeah,
and Xfinity doesn't want to negotiate, or what's going on?
both sides are blaming each other. But the Twins knew when they signed a one-year contract extension with Bally's that if there wasn't an agreement on May 1st, everyone who had Xfinity was going to get cut off.
And watch this. Is there a Valley Sports app?
It doesn't work.
Oh, the whole thing's just shut down? Oh, thank you.
So if you have DirecTV, you can still get Bally's. If you have Fubo TV,
Does it work? Oh, it's dumb.
it's really dumb. Bally Sports is trash. I mean, not that this matters to us, but like if say you were a big Lynx fan, you couldn't watch the Lynx on Xfinity. I mean, so all seven Lynx fans are probably really upset. Can't believe we're about
You gotta put it in there, man.
to throw some WNBA.
WNBA. It's relevant. It sucks.
It's only relevant for the worst reasons. It's the WNBA. The word we just used, relevant, hasn't ever been used with the WNBA. I saw a video last night on Twitter from the last time the Chicago Sky won the championship. Their parade had literally 6 people at it. Now you're getting charter planes. You're getting big crowds because of one person, not multiple people, Angel Reese. One person.
It's a wave. Like the Cameron Brink, like it's all a wave. I think it started with NILs. It's as far as like money. Just
It's college. It's not.
No, but
it's
like-
not the WNBA.
it almost like brought a bigger stage to women's college basketball, which made this whole wave that came out largely in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark getting us money, getting hated on.
Instead of these women, I'm not saying you should bow down to Caitlin Clark or let her score on you or make it easy on her. But you definitely should be cheap shotting her.
I mean, think about it. Women are jealous of other women.
Yeah, women are. Yeah, like
It's jealousy, bro.
She's getting I mean, cheap shot after cheap shot after cheap shot, and then I don't see her teammates rushing over to help her
They're
out,
jealous of her too.
which is ridiculous. I mean, if I was Caitlin Clark, I'd call up Ice Cube. I'd be like, you know what? That $5 million offer
Sounds
for the
good.
big 3 sounds good. Peace out, WNBA.
Yeah, but she'll lose
Go back to being a bunch of nothings.
She'll lose her Nike contract if she
No
does
shit.
that. No, Nike paid her. Like, think about it. It's the kids going to the games. Kids ain't about to be courtside at the Ice Cube 3-on-3.
Hey, Caitlin Clark, can I have your autograph? Steven Jackson.
Exactly.
Jason Williams, white chocolate? No.
Hey, little kid, pass my gin and juice.
Mister, why are you 60?
But
But it's got to stop. Like, just, this is the first time you've been nationally televised and covered for any time ever.
there's even like millions of gambling money going into
Yeah,
it.
and you're
crazy.
trying to kill her.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. And again, Sid the Sloth lookalike Angel Reese, you got nothing to do with this. So anyway, that covers
That's it.
That's too much. No more WNBA. No more. Yeah, all right. In seriousness, great episode. Sorry for the delay a little bit. We were in Wolves morning, had a couple scheduling conflicts, been busy with work. But we will be back sooner than later. Episode 14, Marginal Contact. Like, subscribe, share, Apple, Spotify,
Do it.
YouTube. Blast this to anyone of your friends that you think would like it. Any sports fan you know. Help us grow this. Follow us on Instagram, Marginal Contact Podcast on Instagram. We are not going to stop. We are going to continue to grow this. Thank you for the support. We'll talk to you soon. For Leon, Buff Brando, episode 14 is
Because the refs did not give us no calls tonight. We had to play through every bump, every grab. I don't know how we won tonight.
There's contact. Was it marginal or was it illegal?